Speak. I'm Mike Schneider, ABC News, New York. More news as it develops, special reports as they warrant, and of course, complete report.
Agricultural land. Iraq has these two celebrated rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates. Iraq was only cursed with the fact that it had Saddam Hussein at the helm. Now, at the end of this war, in effect, if the regime in Iraq is chastened, if there is a better regime, the Iraqis have it within their means, possibly within their means, to pull themselves out of the wreckage of their own society.
Is it in the interest of the United States, though, to help them, or is it in the interest of other countries in the region?
I think other countries in the region. You know, we are aware, we are haunted by the example of history. We think of Weimar Germany, we think of the great burden that was placed on Germany after World War I, and we think that there was a connection between this and the reparations that the Germans had to pay, and the outbreak of Nazism in Germany later. And so we think about the Iraqi state, and we worry, well, what will happen to this Iraqi state? Iraq is $80 billion in debt, for God's sake. Where are they going to get the money? So even though there are some UN resolutions that say that the Iraqis must pay money to the Kuwaitis, this is how the Kuwaitis got in trouble in the first place, by asking the Iraqis to pay money which the Iraqis didn't have to pay.
And Iraq, once it did get on its feet, is potentially a very prosperous country, no?
Indeed. And indeed, the Iraqis, indeed, if they are rehabilitated, if they quit warfare being the main industry of the Iraqi state, if war is no longer the main industry of the Iraqi state, the Iraqis could pull themselves out of this mess.
Fuad Ajami, thank you as always. Susan Spencer will carry us along as America Tonight continues.
Units are at this hour entering Kuwait City. Assuming they find no particular obstacles, Arab troops are expected then to follow in force later on today. Scattered Kuwaiti flags, meanwhile, are already beginning to appear around Kuwait City. And from Saudi Arabia, the exiled emir has declared martial law in the country to last for the next 3 months. Many families, meanwhile, are assembling their belongings, anticipating the move back, and the royal family is said to be prepared to relocate as well. With us now to discuss what lies ahead for Kuwait's ambassador to the United States, Saud Nasir al-Sabah. Sir, if you can hear me over all the airplanes, it occurs to me that when you look at these pictures from your homeland, you must have some very, very mixed emotions.
Well, good morning to you, Susan, in Dhahran there. I hope you can hear me over all those airplanes roaring overhead. Of course, we have a lot of mixed emotions. They are mixed of joy and jubilation, and also with concern and worry for the war still on. Their lives are still at risk, and it's not over yet. So we have to be very careful in our expressions here. And we also like to express our condolences and for all those families who've lost their loved ones during this Operation Desert Storm, especially those who've been victims of the Scud attack in Dhahran just recently. And
let me ask you one thing that I think is on the minds of a lot of Americans as they look down the road in your country. There was a sense that perhaps a new Kuwait is going to be a more democratic Kuwait. Is that an unlikely expectation?
Susan, I'm amazed how the world and the public opinion has suddenly forgot how democratic Kuwait was since 1962, when we had our constitution, when we had a freely elected parliament, free press, free assembly, freedom of expression. It was one of the most democratic countries in the region. And the saying always goes that there are two democratic countries in the Arab world. One is Lebanon, two is Kuwait. Lebanon was destroyed, and Kuwait again was destroyed. We've always enjoyed the system of democracy, but we had a turbulent political problems in the region as a result of the Iran-Iraq war. There are too many factions in Kuwait that were pulling at different directions. And we saw the existence of this freedom we had in Kuwait as detrimental to our security, and we had to take some action in order to temporarily suspend those freedoms until things come back to normal and normalization. And the Emir and the Prime Minister, have already made statements of commitment with regard to the restoration fully of the 1962 Constitution once there is stability and security in Kuwait and in the region.
Just briefly, how long would you think reconstruction might take? We've seen the scenes of devastation in your homeland.
Well, Susan, quite frankly, I have no idea how long it's going to take until we can make the damage assessment, especially to the vital installations in Kuwait, like the water desalination plants, the power stations, communications, the refineries, and all the other important government bodies, like the government departments. We don't have exactly a clear picture as to the extent of the devastation and damage. It's going to take years. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, it's going to take years for the people who have lived through it for the last 7 months inside Kuwait and also outside Kuwait. It's going to take time, and we're going to do it.
I'm sure you're very anxious to start on that project. We'll be back in just a moment with more from Bob McEwen live inside Kuwait City.
West of Kuwait, furious fighting is going on in Iraq. 33,000 or more, according to all accounts. Things are much quieter today, a happy day in Kuwait City. Let's go back to Bob McEwen for a few minutes. Bob?
Charles, I wish I could tell you that the official day of liberation here in Kuwait City was going to be a sunny one, but it's clearly not. It's getting darker by the moment. You can probably see the dual colors along the horizon, the dark above and the light below. The dark above is the pall of oil, the black smoke from the burning oil wells that is going overhead, that has been overhead for days now. And I'm afraid that even if the sun were up, we'd probably be in about the same shape as we are today. Joining me now is Khalifa al-Sakir, who is a citizen of Kuwait who chose to stay and did stay throughout the Iraqi occupation. Khalifa, can you give me a sense of what's happened over the past 2 or 3 days here?
In the past 3 days, it was, we're hearing too much bombing. We can't go out from house because they were arresting all people, especially the youth, from 15 to 40. They arrest them and we don't know where they will keep them. So we don't go out from houses. And we hear too much explosions, and we are prisoners in our houses.
Now, that having happened in the past 2 or 3 days, could you believe your eyes when you saw the Iraqis the night before last pick up and leave?
I didn't believe it. I don't know why. I heard the radio. The radio said we didn't. The Allied forces didn't enter Kuwait City. They still fighting in different areas, but they didn't enter Kuwait City. But we didn't see anyone in Kuwait City in our areas. We go everywhere, police station, nobody there. We are very happy, but we didn't see the Allied forces coming. So we organized ourselves for these days before they come.
Khalifa al-Sakir, thank you very much for talking to us.
Welcome.
Charles Carroll, back to you in New York.
Bob McEwen, who occupied Kuwait City some hours ahead of Allied forces. Susan Spencer and I will be back with some final thoughts.
Khala. Australian Navy. That's right, mate. But I'm sure that sharp as a tack Iraqi Navy would be out there to meet them. Stand still. Where is he going? Do you remember when the whole war broke out? Bernard Shaw was, reporting like 3 days straight. He was up for 3 days, 4 days. Was he losing his marbles or what? He was like reporting on nonsense. They were like, what CNN was like, we take you now live to Baghdad, Iraq with Bernard Shaw. Bernard, yeah! Yeah! Yeah, I'm up! What? Yeah! What? Bernard, can you tell us what happened last night? Last night? A hooker stole my wallet. Thank you very much, everybody.
Morning here in the Gulf, and later on, a joint Allied force is expected to march into the center of Kuwait City to formally take control of the city. cleaning up in a fierce battle with the Iraqis near the airport.
Kuwaitis who were caught outside Kuwait when Iraq invaded last August have been unable to do much to help their country. But today, 263 of them got their chance. They volunteered to be translators for the Allied forces in the Persian Gulf.
Right, you left, you're right, you left, you're right, you left, you're right, you're out of sight. You left, you're right, you're out of sight.
They look like soldiers, but they really aren't.
You're right, you're looking good. You left, you're right, you're Hollywood. You left, you're right, you're Hollywood.
They are students, business people, a banker, a high school teacher, aged 17 to 50. 9 of them are women.
Cut my hair, shave my beard. Cut my hair, shave my beard. Just because I volunteered. Just because I volunteered.
They got themselves to Fort Dix, New Jersey only last week, and the United States Army did its best to turn them into 8-day wonders.
Good, good. Your turn.
They were together at Fort Dix, citizens of Kuwait in American uniforms, when the land war started to free their country. They were together this morning to hear about the liberation of Kuwait City. They cheered and wept at the news together. This afternoon, together, they stood at attention to hear the dearest music imaginable, banned in their homeland for 7 months, the national anthem of Kuwait. When this anthem ended, they were graduates of basic training. Tonight, they are in a U.S. Air Force transport plane over the Atlantic. They land tomorrow in Saudi Arabia. Keep an eye out for them, Susan. They don't march very well, but they are on their way to do their best for their country. Good night, Susan.
Good night, Charles, and good night, everybody.
Tomorrow night, another America Tonight National Town Meeting. Join Charles Carrault and Leslie Stahl. Call 1-800-933-6650 tomorrow evening after 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Or you can fax a question to us at 212-975-7596.
CBS News was first with exclusive reports from inside Kuwait City. If you want to get your war information first and accurate, stay with CBS News.
This is CBS.
This country once teemed with buffalo, but man's abuse, irresponsible behavior nearly wiped them out. Now we're in danger of doing the same thing to the Earth's ozone layer.
The ozone layer shields the Earth from the sun's harmful radiation. We know that chemicals used to charge auto air conditioners damage the ozone layer, allowing harmful radiation to reach the Earth. Now we know how to keep ozone-damaging chemicals out of the atmosphere by capturing and recycling the refrigerant gases in auto air conditioners.
Whether you're a professional mechanic or a do-it-yourselfer, when you service a car air conditioner, don't release or vent the refrigerant gas. Capture it. Recycle it. Then you, too, can help protect the Earth's ozone layer.
Contact the Environmental Protection Agency for information on how you can help preserve the Earth's atmosphere. A public service message from Igloo's Project Terra with the technical assistance of the EPA.
Wednesday and Saturday on Coin TV.